Hello everyone, you are welcome to Express Politics on TVRC. I'm your host for today. My name is Abiola Michael, and the studio with me is Dr. Akintunde Sami Vinci, the lead analyst on TVRC. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
And it's good to have you once again.
Same here.
On today's episode, we are going to be talking about the deficit in the area of democracy and the rule of law in Nigeria. We are in the era of democracy, straight up from 1999 up to date, and we have seen some challenges in this era of democracy in our government. So we are here to talk about, first of all, the corruption and the impunity. You know, we saw a minister some time ago, committing fraud, embezzling a certain amount of money, and he's being investigated currently by the EFCC. So talking about corruption, doctor, can we uphold the rule of law in a country where corruption persists?
Well, it's like when you ask the question that can we uphold the rule of law where we have persistent corrupt practices?
Yes.
Yeah, of course, it is possible. Don't forget that the third arm of the government is the judiciary.
Yes.
And I don't know if you've heard of the story of the incorruptible judge.
Yes,
Okay.
we read it back.
Yeah, I mean back in time in retrospect.
Yes.
But just to digress a little bit. But back to the question. It is very possible to uphold the rule of law, but it has to come with a whole lot of political will. Even if you are going to look at the first, well, let me not call it the first. When you look at the executive arm of the government, you notice that if you are going to execute any project or implement any project, it has to come with a whole lot of political will, dedication, commitment. The same thing is applicable to the judiciary. Because he that comes with a clean hand must first come with equity. So before you can, remove the log of wood in somebody's eyes, you have to check the log of wood that are very much laden in your own eyes first. So before you can adjudicate on the issue of others, you must have been known to be a man who is clean. So like I said, the onus lies on the part of our judiciary, ranging from the judges to the bar, to the lawyers, even to the clerks of the house. So that particular area must be thorough. They must be thorough in their approach to the issue of corruption, and they must they must not be found wanting as it regards to corruption.
Okay.
Anything that is contrary to that, we make them, we relegate them to down the pinnacle, and we make them null and void in as regards the issue of corruption. So, like I said, can we uphold the rule of law? That's on the part of the judiciary, but on the part of the masses, the constitutions must be well cleared, must be well spelled out. Okay, when you don't understand the nitty-gritty of the corruption, and ignorance of the law is not an excuse. But some people how on earth are you going to explain the fact that on daily basis we keep, the arms of the law they keeps arresting all these guys who are found in all these ritualists, virtually on daily basis. Are you going to say that these guys they don't have the wherewithal, they don't have the knowledge of what the corruption says on anybody that kills?
They were killed.
Is it that they don't have the knowledge? But over time, when you see a kind of a situation that favors the rich, where when you misappropriate money, it is called misappropriation of fund. When you cut away money that belongs to for public use, they will call it embezzlement. And eventually, they will say somebody who has embezzled billions of dollars, billions of naira, they'll tell him to come with a bail, chargeable bail of 5 million naira. The person will, joyfully pay for the bail and free himself from whatever the quagmire may get himself caught with. But when that is done for the rich, and those who steal, I remember there was a time somebody stole chicken in this country, and the guy languished in prison for quite a while, for a very long period of time. That is a very terrible situation for a country. So, like I said, the rule of law must be fair. There must be fairness in the rule of law. And that's why I keep saying for the often time that this current constitution that we are currently working with is not the best for this country.
Okay, you feel like it should be reviewed?
Or not just reviewed, because you cannot build nothing. You cannot build something on nothing. The basis of the constitution, to me, is, in this my candid opinion, is faulty. It's faulty. Because when you even see, they say this is a.
So are you saying that they should remove the whole constitution and start again?
Of course, we have intellectual, and we have legal luminary. We have legal, people who have caught their. I mean, we have intellectual par excellence in our judiciary. What's wrong? They can always sit down and bring. I mean, we are going to. I mean, create something for the citizens. Not the current one that we are currently working with, that has to do with our manner of, so many things that appears to be inappropriate. How net are you going to start exonerating corruption? Fela said, he said, a thief is a thief. If you have stolen billions of dollars and you call it misappropriation of fund, that is a thief. He has embezzlement is a thief. But how are you going to see somebody who stole a tin of a milk? He said the person is being waylaid, and the jungle just takes its method on the person. As somebody who has stolen billions of naira, and you are giving the person a ceremonial title, you are giving them what's it called, presidential. You are giving them honor, GCCFR, GCON, and what have you, CFR, giving them honors and titles, and some of them will return back to their village with Ashwebi. So, like I said, on the part of those who are abiders of the law, that is on the part of the judiciary, they have a whole lot of work to do. They must make sure they wash their hand clean, and they rejig the structure, the architecture of the bar. They have to raise the bar very strong. And anybody that is going to come to the defense of another person must done it within the ambit of the profession. And again, on the part of the citizens, we have to understand. We have to understand what the constitution is saying. So you won't say you don't. You won't be saying. You won't be claiming ignorant of the law.
All right, thank you. That was a powerful one, Doctor. Thank you so much. Now let's talk about the weak and politicized judiciary system in Nigeria. What can you say about it? I mean, we cannot put a trust in the judiciary system that has been co-opted by a ruling party, right?
Well, either by ruling party or not ruling party, the judiciary must be non-partisan.
Okay.
They must not be either one party. It's not their business. They don't have any business with one party or another party. So, like I said, back to your questions, a corrupt judicial system.
Yes.
Is if you are going to kill a nation, make sure you infiltrate their judiciary system. Infiltrate them. Please, I want to get the question again.
Okay, like the judiciary system, what can you say about it?
Currently in this country, when you look at our judiciary system, it's nothing to write home about, sorry to say. Okay. But I wouldn't say the judges are not doing their best, they are trying. But when you look at even the situation over the night or over time, look at how they are being taken care of. Some of our judges, look at their cars, look at where they live, look at where they are being taken care of. You notice that even when you are offering them with peanut, they wouldn't, mind embracing the peanut, because they just want to survive.
Yes.
But when they are being taken care of, then I think all this kind of injunction, all this kind of ex-parte order that people are looking for here and there would be a thing of the past.
And all that, yes.
You see some cases. There's what called the appellate court. The appellate court. The courts are supposed to entertain at the magistrate level. You want to take them to the court of appeal. And before, even sometimes they want to even bypass they want to bypass the process. They want to make sure that what they've seen at the magistrate level is truncated at the court of appeal, and even when it gets to the Supreme Court, they want the Supreme Court to kowtow in the poho of the appellate court. So when you look at the structure, ranging from from the magistrate court to to the court of appeal, from court of appeal to to the Supreme Court, there are a lot of imbroglio here and there. I describe
Wow. I like that. Now, lastly, before we round up on today's show, let's talk about the human rights violations. We have a failed legal system in Nigeria, and that we don't protect basic human rights. What can you say about that?
Well, I would like to use a very practical example. Okay. You remember, like I said, whenever the government is ready to do something, whenever they have the political will to drive something, they always do it to the best of their ability. It's not as if our judiciary system, they are not doing anything. Because I still remember some notable individuals who were thoroughly dealt with. And this has to do with the result from the court. And I could mention some example, like the issue of the Dasuki Gate. Now, that one, it was the issue of the sales of buying of arms, ammunition, and the man was found wanting, and he was jailed for quite a long time. That's one credit to the court. Look at another one, the payment of, giving embroidering and giving power to the local government autonomy. It was done by the recent Attorney General of the Federation, and of course that's another credit to them, to their distance too. Okay, now, but I want to talk about some fundamental case, some cases recently, like the case of Nnamdi Kanu.
Okay.
Of course, we have some national state actors. Of course, they have their different issues, but eventually, the likes of some of them were released, and when they were released, they are back. Some of them are back to their communities.
Yes.
But one of them is still very much languishing in what's it called, in prison now, and that's the person of Nnamdi Kanu. So what makes the case of Nnamdi Kanu different from that of Sunday Igboho? Or what makes the case of Sunday Igboho different from the case of some other cases, some other national state actors? So, like I said, you need to understand the fact that justice for one is justice for all. Okay, so that's another case of. But when you look at the case of Showore is also part of the whole, and the case of some, and the recent ones of the Natasha Akpoti Uduagan. You notice that of Showore was so bold that he knows how to galvanize his lawyer to come to the state whenever there are issues, and Nnamdi Kanu is also doing the same thing. And some believe that has turned into a kind of a tribal issue, that some believe that you are favoring some people in the west and opposed to those who are in the east.
Yes.
That's the kind of imbalanced system. Why not release this man? At most, put security operatives, put him on the watch list, watch him for a while and see what he's going to be doing. And if he's found wanting, then you can always make reference whatsoever to your observation. And look at the case of Akpotu Duagan, Natasha, who allegedly raised a kind of emotion, and again they had a kind of altercation with the incumbent Senate president. Eventually, the lady was suspended for 6 months.
Yes.
Okay. So has it been tried? Has it been of course, we're told that the ethics, those in charge of the ethics, Senate ethics, that they've gathered and they've sat, and then that was what they resolved that. But the point is, even the case is even a matter of sub judice. The case is still in the court. Is still in the court of law. Why not allow the court of law to, or maybe at most, as one of critics who said, that why not allow the man to just step aside for now, and let's see how the court eventually. Let's say
you believe that there should be a thorough investigation. A
thorough investigation before before its suspension. Before a suspension. So, like I said, when you look at the case of human rights, we are still very much, struggling in that regard, because people are still being some human rights. We still have a series of human rights violations.
Yes.
People's rights are still being trampled upon.
Yes.
Don't forget also the case of the police brutality, the end SARS case scenario. And we have them in their numbers, human rights violation here and there. So we are still struggling in that regard, and this culminates into what I called even our judges are not totally excluded from the wrath of human rights violation, because they are supposed to be the one to interpret the law and they want to uphold to uphold the rule of law.
All right, thank you. That was powerful one, Doctor. Thank you so much. So here you have it, viewers. But before we round up today's session, I would love you to give a farewell message concerning this the deficits in the area of democracy in Nigeria. Like, what farewell message do you have?
Well, no, like I said, if you're going to have a very strong democracy,
Yeah.
we have to make sure that we uphold the rule of law must be, well taken cognizance of. Because where there is no law, there is no sin. Where there is law, then be rest assured that where there is law, then be rest assured. Where there is law, then be rest assured that anybody that is found against doing something contrary to the law must be thoroughly dealt with.
Yes.
So, if there is law, there must be orderliness.
Yes.
So, like I said, the rule of law remains the rule of law, and there's nothing like ignorance of the law.
No.
So, like you said, the farewell message that I would like to throw out there is that the rule of law is not just there for dear sake. It is there to guide us. It is there. We cannot resort to jungle justice. We cannot resort to the Darwinian, what was it called, survival of the fittest.
Yes.
Whereby the toughest take it all. No. The rule of law is there to shape our society, to make sure that we live orderly. So, like I said, the rule of law is very paramount.
All right.
The rule of law is very cool. It's highly quintessential. The rule of law is very germane. So, if you are going to have a very beautiful democracy, when you say America is one of the leading democracies in the world, it's because they uphold the rule of law. Japan, they also uphold democracy. They are one of the best, beautiful democracies in the world. It's because they uphold the rule of law. If you are going to have a very beautiful democracy, the rule of law, we must uphold the rule of law.
All right, thank you so much. There you have it, viewers, on today's episode on deficits in the area of democracy and the rule of law in Nigeria. So in order for us to have a beautiful democracy in Nigeria, we must uphold and adhere to the rule of law. Till next time, I remain your humble host, Abiola Michael. Thank you, Doctor, for showing up today. Bye for now.